Yo, what's up? What's up? This is your man Thatch the Great checking in once again. Let's get straight to it, man. Tonight we are going to be having some timeline talk. There were there was one particular thing that I saw when I was scrolling down my timeline today, and I just felt the need to put a spotlight on it because it was funny, but I feel that it is actually a very valid conversation to have. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I saw here. Let me see if I can pull that up. All right. Hopefully y'all can see that. It is, this was apparently some girl trying to, I guess, shame a man. Big surprise, right? Some woman was trying to shame a man due to his Tinder profile. A man by the name of Caleb. And apparently she felt that this particular profile was rude in the way that, he spoke about himself and as well as his expectations in a woman. And to be honest with you, I'll tell you what, let me read it first, and then I will give my analysis of what I think about his particular profile. All right, so gentleman's name, once again, is Caleb. He's 30 years old, and the first words on his bio are trigger warning. Let me guess, you're 25 with 3 kids, and you've had your fun. All right, Caleb, get the grammar right. Now, you don't want that. You want a real man to settle down with and take care of you and your kids because you let a loser nut inside of you. Okay, I'm 6 feet even, have my own house, 2 vehicles, and I make over $75,000 a year. What do you bring to the table? If the answer is someone else's kids, then go kick rocks. No man will ever want you. Well, damn, Caleb. Tell us how you really feel, buddy. Here's the thing. Was he extremely crass? Was he a little bit rude? A little pointed and hard-edged in his delivery with his biography or bio? Yeah, absolutely. He was. But the better question is, was he lying? You see, there's a huge difference and there's a huge discrepancy between the burden of performance between men and women in society. Men have all of these expectations, right? But women, they don't really have those same expectations when it comes to the dating world. As Caleb mentioned here in his bio, it is quite commonplace, especially on dating apps. It's very common. I think a lot of men out there will agree with me. It's very common for you to come across women who have 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 kids. And yet they have the nerve to have these laundry lists of things that they're looking for in a man. No, baby. If you come to the table with nothing to your name except somebody else's legacy, which is their kids, and you happen to have multiple kids, I would say you are being extremely delusional by even acting like you have the luxury of having all of these requirements and these standards in what you're looking for in the world. You're lucky if any man who is of, a certain level or of a certain value, you're lucky if any man will actually take you serious instead of using you as recreation. Now, I don't mean to be dismissive when I say that, but it is the truth, right? If a man has all of these things going for himself, right? All right, let's just use Caleb for an example here. All right. So he's 6 feet tall. Women love a tall man, right? He has his own house, same. 2 vehicles, same. Makes over $75K a year, same. What do you bring to the table? Here is where I am absolutely on the exact same page with Caleb, because I find myself to be of a higher echelon. I consider myself to be a top tier man myself. And when it comes to any dating app that I happen to get on or any woman that I meet out and about in the world, of course, there are certain standards that I absolutely require. I personally would not date a woman who has more than 1 child. Me personally, obviously, I have a daughter. So I would not ever date a woman who has more children than I have. But here's the difference between me and most single women out there who actually have one or more children, even the ones that have one child. In my situation, it's completely different because I come to the table being an exceptional, active, hands-on father to my daughter. So that woman would never have to in any way have to worry about the fact that I have a child. But most of the times when it comes to women that I meet out in the world, whether they have one child or more, 2, 3, the problem is the fact that when women have children, for some reason, at least this is my experience, maybe you guys have a different experience, but for the most part, when it comes to women that I meet that have children, it seems like they're always in a scenario where they are the ones who pretty much are the only parent taking care of the child. It just seems like there's always a situation where the father of the child is a deadbeat. Why is that? It just seems like that's always the case. That's why, for the most part, I would prefer a woman who has no children. And if there's any women watching this, they're going to say, oh, that's not fair. It's absolutely fair because I take great care of my daughter. But the majority of women who have kids, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or however many, the fact is most of the time that woman is taking care of that child all by herself. That's just the fact of life. So when it comes to dating, I absolutely believe that a man of a certain level, of a certain value, of a certain echelon should absolutely have standards, and there's no problem with making your standards clear on your profile. So I feel like Caleb is absolutely justified in being a little bit sarcastic in what he stated here, but he's still telling the absolute truth. There's nothing here that he said that was wrong, other than no, there's nothing here that he said that's wrong. Let me guess, you're 25 with 3 kids and you had your fun. Now you don't want that, and you want a real man to settle down with and take care of you and your kids because you let a loser nut inside of you. How many women do we all know? How many women do we all know that fit that exact description? When I scroll down my timeline, I see tons of women who fit that criteria. When I happen to get on, let's say Hinge, when I happen to get on a dating app and I match with these women, and then within the first, few messages back and forth, when I'm trying to get to know all the important basic details about them, and I'm asking them about kids, once they tell me that they have 2, 3, 4 kids, I'm no longer even interested, because I'm not going to deal with a woman that has several kids from other men. That's just not something I will ever deal with nor tolerate. So I completely understand what he's saying here. And he's probably talking from a position of experience because he's experiencing the same thing out there in the dating world. Unfortunately, once you reach a certain age, I'd say 30 plus, the majority of women that you're going to meet in your same age group or your same age bracket are going to have at least one kid. They're going to have at least one child, Now, dipping a little bit lower into the 20s, maybe you can still find a majority of the women that haven't had children yet, depending on the quality of women that you're actually looking at in the dating pool. But this is a prevalent issue in society. Us as men, we have to have our own standards so that we can actually weed through the haystack and find that one needle, that one rare needle who actually fits our standards, who actually meets the criteria for the women that we're looking for. So if I'm looking at Caleb's profile here, I don't feel that the man said anything wrong, and I absolutely agree with him. If you know that you are a man that is attractive to a lot of women, you take good care of yourself, you're making good money, you have all your shit together, it is absolutely your God-given right to put your foot down and make it clear that you have standards, and you're not going to simply tolerate nor accept a woman who comes to the table with nothing but baggage. That only makes sense, right? Anyways, I just thought that this was a particular funny, I don't know what you would even call it. It was just something that was funny on my timeline that I noticed. And the woman was attempting to shame this guy, when in actuality, I think she was making herself look bad, because the average man is not going to see anything wrong with this message. This is a bio that a lot of us can relate to. And what it does is it already weeds out all the women who actually fit that criteria, so they don't even end up matching with you. So he's saving himself some time. And when it comes to a dating app, the more time you save, and the easier you can get to the women that you're actually attracted to and that you're interested in, the better. So kudos to you, Caleb. Keep doing your thing, bro. I feel you, and I'm on the exact same page, and I'm on the exact same kind of time when it comes to these dating apps, if I'm ever on them to begin with. Because, I mean, honestly, most of them are trash. Most of them have low-quality women. But like I said, Hinge is okay, but even Hinge is beginning to get a little bit, I feel like Hinge is beginning to get a little bit oversaturated, and therefore the quality is going down. Anyways, I thought this was funny. I just wanted to share this with you guys. Just do a little bit of analysis on this particular thing I saw on my timeline. This is Timeline Talk for tonight. This is your man, Thatch the Great. Y'all be easy. I'm a holla. Peace.